Right, welcome back to the channel. I'm PommyInOz, and what a weird, messed up game of footy that was. Weird in the way that showed us everything I think that we already knew about Carlton, and probably already knew about Brisbane, and yet somehow we managed to make me personally feel a little bit worse, because that wasn't a team losing, that was a team really shrinking. So let's run that intro and get stuck into it. I'll be fair, the start looked okay. We looked up for it. Bit of drive, some moments, some shape. Arauzio snapped one. Zach Williams made it look like it was 2020 again. Pitner and that sexy top after the siren. That was box off. It was vintage. It was a bit old school. But then came that fade. And I don't mean that fade like Brisbane kicked a couple. I mean that complete systematical crash and effort and intensity crash, especially skill errors. It's like someone pulled the plug, 7 goals straight from Brisbane. No reaction, no anger, no on-field spark, just silence, and players at times feel like they're going through the motion. And that's where the contrast is horrifying when you look at a top side like Brisbane. They celebrate everything. You've got Darcy Wilmot throwing his body into contest like it's a prelim final. You've got Oscar McInerney going up. You've got Zach Bailey hitting people. You've got Dunkley laying 13 tackles and being like a junkyard dog. And they're fist-pumping spoils. They celebrate blocks, them Smothers, the Corrals, the Shepherds. It's moments like that that show you've got a strong culture, but ultimately they build the culture. Carlton, it feels like they check out as celebrating goals, and it feels almost like they're embarrassed at times. Fantasia kicks that perler, and it's kind of, there's no wave of blue. Williams snaps one, and there's a light jog just towards him. We've become like a flatline football club. When you look at the other clubs, they really do it. And let's not sugarcoat it. The execution at this minute in time is a disgrace. Set shots, shanked, short handballs to feet and fumbled. Forward 50 entries, non-existent. Half of them go to 2-on-1 contests, and the other half go 4-on-1. And when a handball comes out of a pack, call the physio. Loose handballs, panic disposals, players missing from 10 metres under no pressure. There's no connection, no composure, no trust, no communication. You can't tell me these are AFL level errors as well, not week after week. When you've players walking in set shots, 35 out, and hooking it like it's their first kick ever. It's not a skill issue anymore. I think it's a care factor. It's a near enough, is good enough. And some of the players check out. You look at Dunkley and Neil, they stand up. You look at Carlton, players like Cerra, he was nowhere near it. Outside of stoppage, there's no defensive work, there's no voice, there's no pressure. TDK, I don't know anymore. He's a 200-centimetre ruckman, athletic, and the only impact he feels is drawing them horrible Bronx cheers. And that's not form, that's resignation. That's a bloke who looks like he knows he's leaving. He's just working his calendar out. Charlie Kerno, 0 goals, 4 weeks, dual Coleman medalist, and although he worked hard up the ground, he needs to be in front of goals. These are the moments that players like Sticks would have demanded it, crashed the pack, half the contest, had the influence. Charlie at times feels like he's really flat-footed, drifting almost. He feels like a bloke who's forgotten how to fight through a bad patch. And the worst part, it doesn't feel like there's anyone on field talking. Where's the pride? Where's that leadership group, the accountability on the field? And the kids that get burnt and the lack of fight really scares me. And this is borderline criminal. Last week, we talked about Harry O'Farrell got torn apart. He got exposed and there was no help from the bench. The coaching pulling him off for a minute. His senior players not saying, I've got your back, kid. You go into the pocket. This week, we saw Matt Carroll. Twice got caught holding the ball. And you know what? He stays on. There's no attempt to shuffle. Give him a breather. Some players did get around him, but that's when you get some adjustment on field as well from the leaders. They've been there. They've done that. There's a lot of young talent there in him, but you can't punish him just by doing this. And I understand the philosophy. Let them learn. But this is more of an institutional failure. If the kid's getting cooked, you've got to pull him and help him and protect him. Give him 5 seconds to analyse it. And if you can't, then what are you doing? Because I'm telling you now, these boys will eventually get scarred when it keeps happening. And you see that with the bigger, older players. It's not building resilience. You're almost building trauma. And I've said this quite often on this show. I was quite open after the finals capitulation. I didn't think Voss is the man. Nothing's changed there from my point of view. But I think this is a lot deeper. This is really cultural. This is systematic. This is on the playing group at the minute. That the playing group has let their standards not only disintegrate, but they've completely malnourished. We're waiting for the season to end. And the accountability, that internal fight, where is the shame? You can't lose 4 odd games in June, July by an average of 5 goals and come up with them old cliches, connection, system, because there is no system, there is no connection. It's been disconnected since round 1 at times. The club is adrift, there's no structure, there's no fallout plan, and there's no second gear. And then, get me started on, Haynes, them little things like that, like when you see Haynes get a late bump, then you see Zach Bailey sling tackle players like TDK. There's a little bit of hate in there from Brisbane. There's a little bit of fire and desire, a little bit of conviction even in the tackles. The amount of missed tackles we had in the midfield today were absolutely shocking, and that doesn't help anyone. That doesn't help the backline get a rest. That doesn't help transition against get a rest. The amount of times that you see that conviction. And when I saw Haynes like that, that's where I want to see players not just walk and dilly-dally past him. And I'm not asking for full-on punch-ons. I'm asking for a little bit of care and desire. And this goes back to why Brisbane are such an incredibly strong team at the minute. They have a real joy factor in what they're doing. There is a real pride. There is a real structure. There is a real belief in them. There is that real, kind of nagging sensation in them that they're in this together and they're looking forward to seeing what the future may hold. And that is what's really scary for me. Look, I'll be honest, I don't think Voss is the guy, but now I'm really questioning some of the players' big style at the minute. Big style, because I appreciate it's tough. I really do. And I can imagine that it's not nice being in the papers for all the wrong reasons and copping criticism, but there comes a moment where you've got to help yourself and you've got to put your neck on the firing line and take the bullet and be like, okay, this is where I am. This is what I'm about. And at the moment, that identity on the field seems so disconnected. The lack of communication. There was a few times that you saw in the footage, Zach Williams is shouting at people to get over here. And he's not one of the leaders, but he is displaying them leadership qualities as a senior player. I don't see that enough. I feel like at the minute, the best way I can describe it is I saw Brisbane go out there, and it reminded me of if you ever watch your kids or a nephew or a niece do, the school sports day. They're so excited to impress you. That's what I get from Brisbane. There's this feeling of they want to impress and they want to make you notice. With Carroll, it feels like everyone's a bit self-insular. It's like, oh, I better worry about my game. Don't worry about everyone else. And that kind of really transcends on the field, especially when the ball hits the deck. It's almost like you've got a few people looking at each other going, are you going to go? Are you going to go? Should I go? And that really makes me sad because it's like this team wasn't just beaten. This was a broken team. So what now? Do we just let this continue till the end of the season? What do we do next year? Where do we do it? Do we give the keys to the same staff, the same voices, the same methods and hope? Do we finally rip the Band-Aid off? And if you're telling me this is as good as this group can give, I think we've got bigger problems than Voss. And I don't think just removing Voss fixes it. I feel like the players to be like this again, the coach can't get the trust back of the players, but can the coach trust the players? Because this team wasn't just beaten. It was broken. And that's where we're at. There's no fire, there's no response. And that probably hurts the most for me because I'm not surprised by it. I feel like this side should be putting in a little bit of fight in this 6 weeks, and we've got to be looking at it. And at the minute, what we're learning is I'm not too sure if we can trust a large group of these players moving into 2026. Whoever you put in there and whoever you put around there, that is what is the alarming thing. You know what? Let me know in the comments, where do you go from here? What do you think we should do? Let's have a conversation about this because I believe at the minute everyone is against each other. I'd like to hear from you guys and girls. What would you want to change? Is this the bottom? Do you think it can go any lower? Is this the time that we stop putting the faith in the same players and the same outcome and expecting a different result? I'll be in the replies, so I'll probably be fuming and exhausted, but you know what? Always, it's honest to chat to you guys and girls and have a bit of a laugh and talk about it. You know what? Fair play to Brisbane. They're a wonderful side. and I'm looking forward to analysing one of their players this week and having a little bit of a deep dive into them. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for me, chat. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, Pommy out.
Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it in a sense, a feel of discontent.